And Reacher is back for another season, and the showrunners aren't pulling any punches. Like the first season, Reacher Season 2 continues to create a sense of mystery around the main characters, with details only being revealed subtly as more episodes are released. Reacher Season 2 is an adaptation of Lee Child's Bad Luck and Trouble book, and it revolves around Reacher dealing with Shane Langston for murdering his army buddies. While the main antagonist is Langston, one character that has captured everyone's attention is AM. As far as mysterious villains and characters go, AM is the biggest one we've seen so far in the Reacher series. In this video, we will discuss everything we know about AM and try to connect some of the dots. Number 6. Real name unknown. So far, we know AM only by that nickname. His real name remains a mystery, and the few times the show has addressed this fact, we've only gotten more aliases and code names. In episode 5, for instance, Reacher visited the Homeland Security facility and learned AM goes by Azari Mahmoud, which is pretty much the only thing Homeland Security knows. As it stands, AM has 7 more aliases thanks to the investigative work of Reacher and his former unit squad members. One particularly interesting thing about AM is how all these aliases use the letters A and M to form words. It's probably safe to say his real name follows the same pattern. Anyway, what does this mean in the grand scheme? For one, it means AM is well versed in escaping the authorities or the many aggressive enemies he must have made. Also, the ability to change his identity makes it nearly impossible for Reacher to find him through government agencies. Number 5. AM loves comic books. TV villains always seem to have a favorite pastime that adds more depth to their character. In AM's case, it's comic books. However, considering how many scenes we've seen him bury his head in comic books, reading them is not just a hobby. In the season premiere, we saw AM reading a comic book called Blue Mask while waiting for his flight at the airport. When he was questioned about his reason for visiting the United States by airport security, he used his comic book to support his claims that he was simply a Hollywood fanatic looking to visit the country where the magic on screen happened. Apart from using comic books as a distraction, AM also mimics some of the characters he's reading about. Like the main character in Blue Mask, for example, AM also uses his many aliases as a mask to avoid suspicion while committing his various crimes. Honestly, writing AM as a comic book inspired villain was a brilliant move by the showrunners because it glaringly shows the difference between him and the radical sense of justice we have come to respect about Jack. Number 4. Arms dealer and much more. So in episode 5, Jack Reacher arranged a meeting with Homeland Security to run AM through the system. Then we learned from agents Kareem and Hernandez, AM translated to Azari Mahmoud, at least according to the Homeland Security database. Mostly referred to as a ghost, we also learned from the 2 agents that AM was linked with the deals that got the hands of several terrorist organizations on some dangerous mass destruction weapons. But AM is more than an arms dealer. This season of Reacher picked up Jack's story 2 years after the explosive ending of season 1. It began when Reacher received a distress call from Neely, one of his former buddies from the 110th Special Investigations Unit. Turned out some of their squad buddies were murdered. So Neely and Jack partnered with David and Carla to solve the mystery. But it quickly became apparent that the murders were just part of a bigger conspiracy. Now, this conspiracy is why AM is not your run-of-the-mill arms dealer. For fans of The Blacklist, basically, AM is the Raymond Reddington of Reacher. His handprint is on every violent and cunning action in the show, and he cares little for the consequences of his power plays. Number 3. AM uses bearer bonds. One of the reasons AM has managed to stay off the radar is that he leaves no money trail. Unlike other criminals, he does not use liquid money when transacting. Instead, he uses bearer bonds. If you've only seen the show but don't know how it works, the concept is quite simple. So, say you found a bearer bond in a transit bus. Then, you automatically become the owner of whatever amount that note represents. However, if you lose it, anyone who finds it becomes the sole owner. It's just like finding a dollar note on the ground. Say you pick it up and spend, no one will challenge. AM uses bearer bonds for his business deals, making it impossible for authorities to track him through financial means. But using the bearer bonds also has a downside. If AM ever gets caught, it would have to be when he's completing one of his deals. Since he's not using real money, he can't just give anyone the bearer bond for safekeeping, since that person automatically becomes the owner. Number 2. AM is Jack Reacher's alter ego. Ferdinand Kingsley as AM and Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher did a good job bringing their characters to life. It's easy to see both characters share a lot in common. Both are adept at reading the room, they're also not very social and are more comfortable with a wandering lifestyle. The only separating factor between the two is their moral code. Reacher has a radical sense of chivalry and is always willing to protect people with the skills he has acquired during his time in the military. AM, though, shows what someone as skilled as Jack can become in the criminal world. Number 1. AM has no religious or political agenda. Whenever we meet a terrorist organization in a TV show, 9 times out of 10, the reason for their attacks is either politically related or based on some extreme religious views. Despite AM's entanglement with several terrorist organizations, it's surprising he does not share the same sentiments with those organizations. And with 3 episodes left, it does not look like AM will suddenly develop any political or religious agenda either. He pulls everyone's strings to make money and cares little for anything else. AM's ties to the death of Franz, one of Jack Reacher's former team members, remains a mystery, but with what we know so far, that probably had to do with money too. Although the show already confirmed that Franz was investigating some when he died at the hands of Langston and Seropian. Also, we now have confirmation the flash drive Jack and his team found containing a list of AM's aliases and other intel was leaked by Franz investigations. Regardless, all these probably boil down to money. Reacher Season 2 has been nothing short of an adrenaline-pumping cat-and-mouse game between Jack Reacher's team and the villains looking to cover their tracks. AM's mysterious identities and enigmatic approach to manipulating people around him to get his business done have been brilliant to watch. It's interesting to see how the showrunners will finish AM's character development without reducing his complexity and growth. How do you think the show will end AM's story? We would love to hear from you in the comments section. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, click on the bell icon so you don't miss out on our next upload. Till then, bye!